Yo, all right. So, welcome back to Brains to Last. This is number 9, a beautiful number. It is me, Miguel, and I'm here with my beautiful co-host, who is just a face. I can't see the top of his head for whatever reason. It's just disappeared.
What?
Zeke.
Yo, what's good? You see my head now?
Bro,
I don't believe you.
For those who are listening on podcasts and not actually watching this on YouTube, I said that because he has a camouflage headband on.
Bro, you out here thinking we having technical difficulties, bro. Bro, like, oh fuck.
Next time you see someone in camo, just say that to them and watch them get very confused. Just like if they have like a shirt on or something, be like, bro, I can't see your torso. And the first thing goes, what are you talking about? And you're like, oh, you stupid mother.
I don't even think this is the first time you caught me with the same joke, bro. You played that joke before too. You did us that shit. I don't know what you think, sneaky little trick. Sounds like the douchebag kid in the 3rd grade just saying that to everybody. That one asshole in the 3rd grade. You know. But yeah.
I just don't remember. Yeah, how you been, bro?
Better than ever, bro. Life is crazy, man. Ups and downs, but we still doing it.
Still doing it, still grinding, no matter what. It's like just like that video you was watching, or whatever that was playing before we got on here. I've been cool, bro. It's been a little weird trying to get like back to work because I don't have furniture. So like I don't have like I don't have anywhere to work. So I'm kind of just like getting like little things done. Because like work environment is important. And I don't have a car, so I'm kind of like trapped here. So I get myself like my desk and bed and couch tomorrow, which is going to change the game. But I do have Wi-Fi. If you notice, I'll probably sound a hell of a lot better than last week.
All I know is that you sound good, bro. Miguel always sounds good. I can't tell the difference.
Well, thank you.
Sales funnel god.
Thank you.
Godly.
He was. My shit was bugging last time. right before we started, you were like, yo, you sound like choppy and stuff. I was like, it's that hotel Wi-Fi, man.
Damn.
All right. But with that being said, we still got it done, which is a good transition into what we're gonna talk about. But I would like to read a quote that I found online. Are you ready to hear it, bro?
Run it, bro. Let me know.
I posted it on my story and the Wealth Champion story.
Okay.
It's, you know Robert Kiyosaki?
The Rich Dad Poor Dad, right?
That's exactly who that is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So he said, if you're the kind of person who has no guts, you just give up every time life pushes you. If you're that kind of person, you'll live all your life playing it safe, doing the right thing, saving yourself for something that never happens, then you die a boring old man.
Straight up. 100%.
Straight up.
The biggest risk is not taking any risks, man.
What? Literally, bro. Which leads into what this podcast is about. It is about taking imperfect action. The full title is. Hold on, I have to look up the title one more time because it's a pretty long one. Imperfect action is the best action, and your life will crumble without it. That is the full title of this podcast, and this is my topic, so I guess I got to run. But basically, the idea is, I mean, one of the biggest questions that I see from my page, the Wealth Champions page, and I'm sure you get a lot on GBG, where it's basically the main thing people struggle with is the lack of their capacity to just do anything and just literally do anything. Like they're always like so nitpicky about the details and making everything just right. Everyone is cursed with perfectionism and control. And because of that, they end up doing nothing and they just procrastinate everything instead of taking imperfect action. And by imperfection, I mean literally like anything. Like this podcast, I feel like this podcast is the best example of taking imperfect action. Like literally,
when we got on this, you tripped me up with the joke about you see my forehead, the joke getting thrown off, like so many things, bro. Action, bro.
Yo, like literally, how this podcast was created was I was meditating one day, and I randomly had the thought, yo, what if me and Zeke just recorded our phone conversations? I mean, we always just get on the phone and just talk. Why don't we just record it and post it on the internet and make a podcast out of it? And I can just post it on my YouTube somehow, and then strip the audio and then put that on iTunes, and then boom, we have a podcast. And I think 2 weeks later, we got it up. It would have happened like a few days later, but I was busy. But literally 2 weeks later.
2 weeks is it goes by like that, bro. And we're already on number 9. But I don't know which.
Stop banging on the podcast, bro.
Yeah, you're right. Imperfect action.
Like, think about how many people, and I know for a fact this happens. Think about how many people have the idea of, oh, I want to start a podcast. All right, I'm going to save money so I can get a nice camera. I need podcasting equipment. Let me Google podcasting equipment. All right, so I can't start until I have that stuff. Let me Google how to do all this stuff. I'm not sure how to do that either. Let me do this. Bro, I watched one video from a guy who I know I found a guy who I know runs a successful podcast, and he has a video, how to start a podcast easy. And then he was like, oh, just set this site up, do this, create an account, and then just upload the audio there. Awesome, now I know how to do that. And then I was just like, all right, let's do the easiest way we can possibly, like, we're doing like the most, what would I even call this? The most like ratchet way of doing a podcast in terms of video quality and audio quality. Like man, there's better software.
Bro, keep it a buck with you. Even I rewatch these, even though it's ratchet. Like the knowledge just kind of trumps the ratchetness and ghetto-ness.
Bro, knowledge will always trump everything.
It's a fact.
Always, the quality of content will always like be the differentiator.
It's so true, bro. And why do you think personally that everybody gets caught up with like this perfectionist mindset, like needing to kind of just have everything to be perfect in order for them to take the first step?
In 2 words, they're pussy. But to elaborate, they're literally just afraid of failing. But the thing is, like, it's talked about in pretty much every single business book, every self-development book, and even talked about in reality transurfing, that if you're not failing, that means you're not actually pursuing anything. And those that actually go for something fail more often, but they also succeed much. Because you feel willing to do something, I'm in a position to potentially fail.
You feel more one time that you hit that gold mine, boom, and then the rest is history.
Exactly, bro. Like especially with a lot of stuff, like you get a lot of times it is one big break for a lot of stuff.
Yep.
Like one video goes viral for somebody, and then all their other videos start doing well. You do one good business thing, and then all that. You, in terms of the people who may be coming here from GBG, you get one girlfriend, and then you're good.
and then you're set, bro. You're set. And then after you get that one girl, since you already have her, and other girls see you with that one girl, then you just build up your soul circle more and more and more, and then you're just set after that one bro.
Literally, bro. So many people are afraid of like going through the process of failing because they just don't want to feel it. Like that's literally what it is. Which is understandable. Like everyone's been at that point. It's like everyone feels that. It's just like literally even the most like mother like gets that little like butterfly feeling in his stomach. Or he dropped hundreds of millions of dollars on Tesla and SpaceX and whatever the other company is.
I don't know.
Yeah. You know that too.
PayPal?
Nah, PayPal, I literally just recently heard the story, but he sold PayPal for like either billions or millions. And then he dropped all of that money on other businesses and then had to borrow money in order to rent a place.
Wow. Typical Elon Musk.
Yeah, typical, bro.
I'm not surprised, but you want to know my theory of why everybody's a perfectionist, bro?
Why?
It's because when we were brought up, I feel like we were all brought up with the idea that like perfect is the only way. Like school judges you based off of only one type of thinking, and that is like logical thinking. There's two sides of your brain. There's a logical side, and then there's the imaginative, free thinking side. So like one side of your brain is like straight line thinking, and the other side of your brain is like creativity, imagination, all that shit. And the people who are left-handed, they're typically more in alignment with all the creativity, imagination shit. And that's why they usually are better with art. The people who are right-handed, which is the majority of humanity, are more logical thinking. And school judges us based off of like grades that are out of 100, and that's just kind of perfectionist. But you never see a class where you're judged based off of something like character or something that's not based on numbers, and numbers deals with logic. So if all our grades are based off of logic, then our brains will be wired to see success as logic, and logic just deals with perfectionism a lot of the time. So I feel like if a lot of people could kind of break that programming and kind of just realize, wait a minute, this system that I was in was probably not serving me the best in all aspects of life, and I kind of need to break the chains loose from that stuff and realize that failure is not the end of the world, and that a failure can be bringing me one step closer to success.
Bro, and they don't build an idea. They don't praise you for trying, even if you fail. Like if you fail, like it's like you always. I remember feeling like anytime like I'd like did not as well as I would have liked to. I remember thinking, fuck, like and feeling that from the teachers, like you feel like a failure, even if you actually tried. Like it's one thing if you didn't put effort in something and then you fail, and then your teacher's like, dude, what the fuck? But like if you actually put effort into it, like you tried and then you didn't actually succeed, and then you don't get praised for trying, you just get reprimanded for failing. That's a pattern that's going to build into your life.
Your whole life, bro. And life isn't the same as like school. Life isn't like middle school or high school, and like people, they just carry on that same programming into their whole life, and they realize they gotta detox from that garbage.
Like look at all the like majority of the most successful people didn't actually become their most successful until later in life. So that means like all through their 20s, like Tom Bailey, billionaire, previous owner of Quest, didn't actually start Quest with his two other business partners until he was 30.
Whoa.
So that means the first 29 years of his life was like abysmal failure. Like complete average.
Yep.
But didn't give up. Imperfect action. He just kept going.
Now all I see is videos of him interviewing like other billionaires and all kinds of pimps and shit on his pimp shit. So
all sorts of pimps.
You just got to detox from that programming and not be a pussy. That is the equation.
Basically. And you can like slowly build this into your life with like anything. So if there's anything that you're even mildly like, just take it like just start being decisive with everything in your life and start taking action, like no matter what. Like whenever me and Zeke are like going about our life and a decision comes up, and we see one of us start like over analyzing the decision, literally one of us will be like, yo, be decisive, just pick something.
Yo, tell me why I remember like on countless occasions me like saying, yo, like some shit like, yo, what floor the elevator to go to, or like what restaurant should I go to, and they like, boy, nigga, just pick one, just pick one. Or that time where we at like an ice cream shop, no, not an ice cream shop, it was like in the city, that guy who was giving out like fruit shakes, and I was like, damn, yeah. I was like, damn, which one should I get? Nigga, just pick one. I was like, oh shit. And I like after I realized, yo, I gotta snap out of this like perfectionist mindset, because it only wastes time. And like even if you are a perfectionist and you do get what you want, your mind is programmed to always look for problems if you're a perfectionist, and I'm not even gonna be satisfied regardless. So
Yep.
Might as well pick one.
Yep. Might as well just pick one. Like sometimes, like you're gonna fail sometimes anyway, so you might as well get the failures out of the way as fast as possible. What's the saying? Fail early, fail fast, fail often.
Yep.
And it's like, just get them out of the way. Like if you fail, just be like, yes, I'm one step closer.
And I feel like when you start failing, and if you keep being happy even when you fail, like you'll program your world to not see failures as something bad. And in terms of like transurfing, when you start seeing the good in everything, if you're on the vibration of goodness and we see a failure, like, oh, I'm one step closer, you can't help but manifest actual goodness and program your reality to show up like actual opportunities and actual. Yo, Miguel, mama.
Troy was calling me.
Told you guys will ask on this podcast, boy.
I have a feeling that's exactly what he wants, so I'm about to send the link.
I'll just run the podcast until then. So yeah, guys. Basically, when you're a perfectionist, you're never going to be happy, because being a perfectionist, you're basically just always looking for the problem in everything. And this is why the smartest people, quite often, they're often the most unhappy people, because although they're good at solving like these hard ass equations, they're going to view their whole life as an equation, and that's just going to lead to massive stress. But like sometimes you just gotta let it go, realize the universe isn't like a fucking physics class. You feel me? That it's not AP chemistry. You feel me? It's life, you know. And
I have three more examples that just popped into my head about people who have taken imperfect action and saw huge success, or success in general. First example, I'm going to use myself. The first, I found out about like social media marketing and all that stuff. I didn't know a lick of anything. I was just reading books and studying stuff. And the first like 2 years, I was just going to local businesses and, yo, what's up, Troy? I'm in the middle of the story, but Troy is here. Troy is going to give an example about how he took imperfect action in a second as well.
With Chris?
Yo,
hi, Chris.
We're at the office.
All right. So failed for 2 years. And then after 2 years, I finally switched my business model up a little bit and got one client. And then that basically snowballed the business that I have today. Connor Murphy started his channel using nothing but an iPhone for his camera. And he didn't like he already had two YouTube channels with over 1 million subscribers. And then he barely got a camera in like early 2019, I think. So he's been filming with a phone this entire time. And so many people won't even start a YouTube channel until they get a camera and get all the right equipment. Fucking Zeke found out, he was like, oh, you can like make a nice Instagram page and people will follow you. Oh, cool. I'll make a few of those. Like, just started Googling random stuff and started posting all over his pages. And he was one of the first people to have 3 pages with a bunch of people following them, and they're still successful to this day. Imperfect action.
Thank you, Miguel. Thank you. My ego is.
Just have to stroke it a little bit.
Thank you. But yeah, you're totally right.
Do you have? Troy, what was it like? Did you just jump out the gate and have all of the pieces together when you first started doing real estate stuff?
I was with
Or did you have to take action?
I was with that guy in high school. We were writing fucking letters for marketing to people. So no, man. And I failed for like 4 years before I had anything successful.
See, it's a
There you have
reoccurring theme. It's a reoccurring theme of you have to fail a bunch of times and just keep taking action before you actually start seeing success.
Yeah. It's always that one guy in the video game that has 0 kills, the one that's always looking with the sniper, trying to get the headshot, but he never has any kills. But it's that guy who's just shooting sporadically. He has more of a chance to actually do good in that video game than the guy that's always looking for a headshot with that sniper. So don't be sporadic, but keep in mind that you taking shots is necessary.
Yeah. It's like jump off the building and build wings on the way down. Like you're never gonna like fall on the floor until you actually die. So you're literally just going to keep falling like perpetually, endlessly. You're going to continue to fall to the floor. And anytime you fail, you just like hit a twig. And then you just keep building the wings, keep getting yourself right. Like start studying stuff as you're failing. Be like, I failed at that thing. Let me do research on why that messed up. I failed at this thing. Let me do research. Okay, so I don't have to fail at that thing again. Because if you're failing multiple times at the same stuff, that means you're not learning from your mistakes.
Boom. You said it, bro. Bro, this podcast, anybody who's a perfectionist, they probably crying right now, bro. They're hurting right now.
Bro, you got to get that perfectionism like that. That is a disease.
It is a disease. And I'm actually curious. We went over why you think that perfectionist is a thing. You said it's because people are bitches. I also agree. I said it's because how people are programmed when they're young. I'm curious, what is Troy's theory of why people are perfectionists?
I think first off, it's kind of a cop out to not like take action because action is fearful. I mean, action is scary, so it's like a comfort thing. I realize that anytime that I'm planning too much before taking action, that it is just a comfort thing purely. So, and it also has perfectionism they talk about it in train surfing a lot. So they talk about how it is detrimental to your own ego because you're pretty much trying to perfect everything. You become this OCD. It becomes this compulsive disorder where you're just like trying to figure out the best way rather than just like, being lackadaisical and letting the events unfold the way they're supposed to rather than like taking complete control. So I think there's both a metaphysical and a physical aspect of it. And they both have their place. I think the physical aspect is a more direct result. The perfectionist, you never see a perfectionist successful. You just don't because they're over executing, they're over analyzing and under executing. Over analyzing, under executing, and then metaphysically, the OCD guy is just all fucked up in the head because he's so stressed about making shit perfect.
Damn.
And I've seen it in business. I've seen it in business a lot too, and I've also seen it in just every aspect of life. From working out to business to meditating to anything. People just want to figure out the best way before they just do it.
Yep.
And this is the same results of college too. People like that want to run a business go to college to get their business degree. That's a form of perfection, over analyzing and under executing. Whereas the person that goes to college, that doesn't go to college and say he takes instead of taking a student loan, he takes like a business loan, and he might fail 2 or 3 times, but by the end of the 4 years, his friends are getting business degrees, but he might have, failed 2 or 3 times, but he has way more experience than the guy that's getting the degree. Or he might have a successful business already. More than likely, he's probably going to have a successful business already.
Yeah. Because he spent that 4 years taking action while they were too busy.
Vocabulary words and shit and taking multiple course exams.
Yes. Make good employees, though.
Yep.
I actually made a post. One of the spiritual laws of success is crap. I can't even remember the name. It's the 6th one. Law of detachment. It basically talks about how there's uncertainty in everything, and you have to be okay with that. Like the only thing that is certain in life is death. So if you're too busy like having this tight grip on reality, as reality transurfing would describe it, you have this tight grip on everything. You just want complete control of everything. You create so much like excess potential around what it is that you're trying to do, and you're basically just putting yourself at a disadvantage, like energetically, because like uncertainty is going to be there regardless. That is life in and of itself. It's one big bag of uncertainty in terms of how the events unfold. But you can actually succeed if you do all the other stuff, like setting your goal in mind and actually taking action and just basking in the uncertainty.
You gotta embrace that shit, man, that uncertainty, because it's always gonna be there. So you might as well just see it as a positive. See it as like, wow, the universe is like a generator, like a random. Like you ever played a Minecraft game? Like it's like you started a new map. It's like a random ass map. You don't know what the hell you get. You might get some diamonds. You might get. You feel me? Like, yeah, shit crazy.
Most people who are stressed and anxious are only like that because they're just so like they're not at peace with the uncertainty in life. Like they haven't come to terms with the fact that everything is uncertain because they're so stuck in control mode. I have to control it. Nothing can happen, and that's a weird place to be in when it's impossible to do that. So they're literally like, that's crazy. I'm like having a paradigm shift right now. Like people, like just imagine you're like trying to tell someone, bro, you can't hold air. That's impossible, bro. He's like, no, I'm gonna hold it. You can't, look, bro. No matter how hard you squeeze, you are not going to hold the air. He's like,
I'm trying. Oh, damn it! I can't. I'm trying.
Just.
Oh, bitch. This is hard, man. Sengun.
You never held air before, bro?
You've been holding air? Hold on, you gonna put us on game? Or you be holding air?
Bro, holding air is like a way of life, bro.
Oh my god.
He's playing. Yeah, he's playing.
Yo, someone asked the question. Do you believe in the energy and karma exchange when you have sex? So smashing a lot of chicks is not spiritual. That is not even on topic, and I'm upset that I read your question. We're not going to answer it. And that's JDMBRZ. I still love you, but stay on topic. I have to do that for your sake and our sake. Anyways,
that's a good question.
It is a good question. It's just misplaced.
Yeah, in another podcast.
Yeah, he said, "Haha, sorry, bro." See, look, he's a good sport, but
he's the
yeah, bro.
He's not trying to hold on to the podcast. He's not trying to hold on to the air.
He had no idea. Like that was imperfect action. He was like, "Yo, I got access to 3 dudes who know stuff."
Stoof.
Who knows, Stoof? Let me get my question in. I've been thinking about this. I'm about to ask it. He didn't know whether or not we was going to answer it, we was going to give a bad answer, we was going to give a good answer, or I was going to dub the question entirely.
But he did it.
But you took perfect action, and that is what's beautiful.
You know, I feel like just taking imperfect action in areas like that, it helps to rewire your brain to just do it in all things. Like you doing something, taking imperfect action on something as little as commenting on a video, and like maybe the people who run are answering or not. That in comparison to you taking imperfect action in a life-changing matter, your brain doesn't know the difference between something that's serious, quote unquote serious, and something that's not serious. All your brain is getting is just the information. It doesn't know what matters and what matters. So you continuously taking imperfect action on the little things that will start to allow you to take imperfect actions on the big things too, and then your life will just you'll start flying on the way down. You'll learn how to fly on the way down, just like how my guy Sales Funnel God said it.
Yeah. Just go through life, and every chance you get where it's like, oh, it's time to take action, and you start to see yourself overanalyze, just be like, fuck, take the action now. Like you're about to order something off the menu. Everyone else is going to be like analyzing, oh, what should I get? What should I get? And then just decide. Like you decide real fast. Just decide. Be like anytime you're with your friends and they're like, what should we do, guys? Just pick something. Like even if they say no, just the point is you decided. You decided to take imperfect action. Like next time you're like, what should I say in this conversation? Just say anything. First thing that comes to mind. Like just your entire life, just build it around being decisive and action oriented.
Bro, this is such a paradigm shift because most people think in the exact opposite way, and that's what's holding them back, yo.
Dude, anytime you can like think in the opposite way of somebody, I would urge you to do that too. I kind of learned this action thing through more so through game than like business, because like I'm sure you know this, Zeke, but like if you overanalyze shit, you're never gonna get better. And then I almost thought about getting this tattooed on me. I don't like tattoos though, but I thought it finally came to me that like your subconscious is always gonna be against you until it isn't anymore. So meaning like your programming, if you aren't where you want to be right now, it's because your subconscious is all fucked up, and its programming is saying to stay in comfort. So comfort is your enemy until it isn't anymore. So until the uncomfortable becomes comfortable, it is your enemy. Same with the subconscious. Until the subconscious is doing what you want it to do, it's your enemy. I would never listen to it, and that goes with comfort. People like to do. So what I would do in my morning routines to get ready for this is I would do like at least 3 things that are uncomfortable that I don't want to do. Cold showers, making my bed, bioenergetics, meditation, shit that I really wouldn't want to do and force myself to do it. And then I learned it even more through a game that like if I don't go and approach this girl like now, I'm not going to want to do it later if I know how to do it. Basically, resolving that is just, uncomfort is like where growth is going to be every time until it isn't anymore. But I don't think anyone is at that stage, or at least I'm not. I don't think y'all are. I mean, that's a hard stage to get to because we have 20 years of subconscious programming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we get in there though.
Yeah, we're on the path.
You said how it is, Troy, about what happened, bro?
No, I was gonna say I would say very few people are there where their uncomfortable is actually their comfort now. It's like David Goggins. His uncomfort is his comfort.
Exactly.
His subconscious is on his side, but almost anyone else, their subconscious is not on their side.
For the majority of humanity, their subconscious is not on their side.
No.
Isn't that crazy if you think about it? Shouldn't you be one with yourself? Most people are against their own selves. That is insanity.
Because most people are operating like from fear. Like they're always just so scared of anything, and instead of looking at fear and going, "Damn, how do I get around this?" They're okay with succumbing to their own fear. Like they're perfectly okay with that. They look at their fear and go. They look at the thing they want, feel the fear, and they go, I'd rather not do it because that feels more comfortable. Like, being fearful is way too much.
Ew. Yeah. Living like that. Ew. Oh.
But I came to this conclusion recently, too. I had a major paradigm shift when I came to that conclusion too. Is like I realized the comfort discomfort thing. I realized that I was trying to find a lot of ways to shortcut, hard work, and I was like, kind of thinking maybe I'm working too hard for what I don't care for, or whatever. Then I realized like anytime I've ever been happy is when I'm taking massive action. Like I thought it was more of an ego thing. I was trying to find that balance, and I was like, no, I need to like ease off a lot of tension of what I'm doing. But then I realized like the times I've been grinding and hustling and working are the times I feel best because I'm living to my full potential. I'm actually doing shit that I want to do.
Wow.
Bro, I've had a similar like thought process go through my head like in recent months. Where I'm just like, damn, am I like working like towards like nothing right now? And then like every single time like I'm upset or like I'm just like my thoughts are just going all into the negative, I'm usually just sitting around like doing nothing. And then the days where I feel great are the days where I'm just like, I'm extremely active, like I'm working on my goals, like I'm doing a bunch of stuff. And then I just feel great that day. And I always have to like remind myself in the middle of that, I feel good because of this.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think that's a problem with anybody that's into spirituality and involved in the ego world, is that they come to this balance. And I have a lot of friends that this happens to because I attract a lot of people that are into spirituality and killing it in real life. And that kind of happens a lot. I see that trend where they like don't tug that gray area correctly, so they get too far spirituality or they get too far business rather than being that balanced center. And I've been there too, where I'm like too far into like letting shit being passive, and then I'm too far aggressive. And it's just like really finding and toning that balance where it's like I'm doing both at the same time. Like Alan Watts talks about a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
I feel like that's a beautiful line to be on. This is like because you just like amazing sense of self, and you're like grinding like a motherfucker. He's talking to his business partner. What were you about to say?
Huh?
What were you about to say?
I was gonna say keep talking because you're spitting facts right now.
Here, let's read one of these. I finished my thought.
Okay.
So someone said best ways to reprogram subconscious mind other than boring affirmations. She pretty much Troy pretty much went over that. Basically, just do stuff, do anything, be decisive. Yeah, we went over that.
Do stuff, and also I would say have reminders all around you. The music that you're listening to, that's repeating in your mind all day. And although you might not quickly notice the effect it has on your conscious mind, your subconscious mind is always awake. It's always active. And even though your conscious mind might not notice something, your subconscious mind is always down and everything. So if you're listening to music, I'm sad, I'm a deadbeat, like consciously, like you could still be good, but like over time, your conscious mind will also be changed. So watch what's in your surroundings, watch your music, watch just the things around you. It could literally be down to the posters that are around on your
people around you.
People
baby
around
Jesus, the people.
Yeah. If you have a poster in your room that's a like some suicidal ass rapper, some sewer horny ass person, if you're on Tumblr all day or some shit, like that's gonna just bring you down. Consciously you won't notice it, but it's being programmed in your subconscious at all times.
They talk about that in feng shui, where they say all the artwork inside of your house should, like, depending on the room it's in and the vibe you're trying to create, should be something uplifting. Something that like brings you more energy and happiness and like vibrancy to your life.
Boom.
So that's amazing that you just woke by accident or on purpose. He said, where to find the balance between analyzing decisions / actions till it becomes hindering. You take actions and analyze the failures that you're making. Would be the best way of going. So like as you're taking actions, let's say like you're whatever step you are in the journey, the only thing you should be doing research on is the next step, because that is the thing that you need to get to. But you don't want to sit back and not be trying to take the step. Like the whole time you're like researching, you should be like, like you can't see my foot. But I'm lifting it up.
Show us that foot, bro. Show us that foot.
So like you should be like,
Miguel clearly doesn't skip calf day.
ever. So yeah, so like you should be. The idea is you should be taking action, and as things are happening, like the research that you're doing should be in direct correlation with the actions that you're taking.
That's a beautiful way to put it, bro. Because some people they're just overanalyzing on shit that doesn't even pertain to them. It has nothing to do with what the hell they're doing. Yep. But when you just take that action and then like you do your analyzing based off the action that you take, you're in perfect balance. No one can stop you.
There you go. There's a nice little balance. Like people will fuck around and be like, I gotta learn how to do mini chat, but they need to learn how to actually write copy, because if they don't know how to write copy, then
mini chat will be of no use.
Like they're analyzing step 10 when they're on step 2.
And bro, I'm not gonna hold you. Like even when I have these podcasts, I notice myself having paradigm shifts, and I notice like, oh shit, like this shit is just being reinforced into my subconscious, and it's like sometimes I'm like I'm just like, oh shit, like me telling this to other people is helping to reinforce it into my own mind, and it's just like that's crazy. And some guy said how to like program your subconscious. You got to know that teaching and learning is the same thing to your brain. When you're learning something, it's the same thing as when you're teaching something. That's stated in a book called The Law of One. So if you want to get something deeper into your subconscious, you could focus on doing okay, let me give you an example. Let's say you want to get better at math and you want to program more math into your subconscious. You could either learn math yourself and do a bunch of equations, or you could teach your little sister math. It'll be the same thing to your brain. You'll be programming all that good shit into your brain. Plus, it'll just be another way of doing it, which will just ingrain it more into your brain. So teaching and learning, do both.
Bro, wild synchronicity. I was just about to give an example about that. That's literally like how you learn something even deeper. Whenever I was learning math, like my dad's super good at math, so I would always work on problems with him. I would show him the problem. He would teach me how to do it, and then he would, because I had a whiteboard in my room, then he would erase the whiteboard blank, and he was like, all right, now you do it and teach me how you do it.
Wow.
Like, so that's how I learned math. And I got to calculus. I stopped before actually doing calculus, but I got to calculus because of learning that way.
Bro, your dad's a G for that. Your dad will get Thug Life tattooed on his abs.
He asked why you moving away from NYC. There's going to be a video on that on Thursday. So that's coming.
Thursday.
Yeah. Is that your new place, Miguel? You moved in?
Yeah, bro, I'm here. There's going to be, the video on Thursday is just going to be why I left NYC, but I'm waiting to do an actual like tour of the place when Stoof is actually in here. Because right now, if you can't hear the echo, the reverb. This place.
Are you liking Austin, bro?
Huh?
Are you liking Austin so far?
I love it here, bro. It's so much nature. People are nice. Every time I get in an Uber, they just talk to me the entire time.
Bro,
this is not.
Houston's like New York, bro. You should check it out. It's so much like New York City, Houston, and also so much like California, bro. Like Los Angeles.
So crazy. I'm down to go. Hodge Twins are going to Houston, Texas in like November. I'm trying to go to that.
What is it?
You don't know who the Hodge Twins are?
I know Hodge Twins. I didn't hear you.
Okay, I was about to say, yeah, they're
OG, bro. They're Elliot Holstays.
They were on tour. Bro, so are you down to go to that though?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Hopefully Zeke is in Texas.
We'll have Zeke in Texas by then for sure.
Hopefully my ass down there. Put my ass down there. I'll be there.
The podcast will be live. We'll be, instead of having this like Zoom, we'll just be all three of us in one camera.
Bro, that's gonna be amazing.
I'm not gonna think of that, man.
Bro, we're gonna break the internet once that day comes.
Bro, the internet will be broken, officially broken. All VPNs down. It's gonna be
so like, bro, I was saying at the beginning of the podcast before you got in here that this podcast in and of itself is a perfect example of imperfect action. A perfect example of imperfect action.
Wow. Wow. Isn't that funny?
You might as well be Yoda, bro.
Imperfect action is perfect. You must.
Yes.
You must.
Like this podcast is literally all three of us just hopping on a Google Hangout, and I literally like Troy literally just called me, interrupted the entire podcast, and was like, "Bro, if you want to send me that link, just hop on there." I was like, "All right, let me send this." And he just randomly.
Oh, shit.
Like, I was in a hotel, like, the amount of people who would literally be like, nah, I gotta have the right mic first. I gotta have a nice podcasting setup. We gotta get the perfect name. Bro, someone hit me up the other day. I refused to respond to him because he was like, hey, I'm thinking of starting a YouTube channel, but I need a name first. What do you think it should be? And I was, bro, if you don't just name it after yourself and start it.
Fact. Literally,
that was me on a fake account, bro. That was me on a fake account. I just wanted to pick your brain, bro, without having to ask directly. You ignored
Just pick whatever. Me and
Oh,
Miguel were literally making Jimmy Neutron jokes, and we were like, Brain Blast, and he was like, yo, we gotta just name this shit Brainstorm Blast, and look at it, it's fucking Brainstorm Blast. Just take action.
Yep. Literally, me and him talked about. I think we were talking about Jimmy Neutron. Like it had to have been recent. Because I was just like brainstorm, like brain blast, and I was like, damn. All right, brainstorm blast. It's available. Yes.
Boom. Look at us now. Like,
look at us now. Think. See, look, even Jimmy Neutron took imperfect action. All he did, it was like, Jimmy Neutron, we have this problem. What should we do? And he was like, think, brain blast. He didn't go think. Give me a couple of weeks.
nope.
Like, no, solve that problem right there on the spot. I got it. Let's do it. And Jimmy Neutron failed sometimes. But you know what he did? He always fixed his failures.
Boom. And he just blasted off again.
Yep.
His big ass head.
It was like, Jimmy Neutron, your first idea didn't work. What do we do now? Wait, give me a second. Think, brain blast.
And then there you have it. Now he had his own fucking TV show and all that shit.
Yeah, based off of a real person. Jimmy Neutron has his own TV show. He went on to be a very great man. He changed his name to Elon Musk.
Yo, that's a good one. Yo, when we just cracking jokes. Anybody saying anything in the comments? Any questions? Drop some comments, guys.
A lot of times the comments, because people think about this podcast, at least at this level that it's at right now, is that a lot of times there's only one person asking questions, especially when JDM gets in here.
JDM.
But yeah, a lot of times like they'll pop into the podcast and leave, and then they'll probably just watch it later on, like in spurts. Because like, how do most people watch a podcast? They just turn it on and listen like while they're doing something else.
Yep.
But I did have another question. So, can you find spiritual high vibe people in LA and Miami who are not extremely materialistic? Yeah, I mean, those kind of people are everywhere.
I would more so there, honestly.
Yeah, especially. Well, I don't know about Miami. Miami's basically Vegas.
Yeah, that's true.
LA though, definitely.
Go on meetup.com. Here's your best bet. Go on meetup.com. Search up beliefs. There's a category called beliefs, and on that category, like a small percentage of them will be like Christians and shit, but then most of them would just be like yoga meetups, like meetups on consciousness, astrology, all that, and then just pop out.
Yep.
You feel me? Imperfect
action. The second you see one, you're like, that looks interesting. Go.
I've seen a lot of guys build social circle through Instagram too. I think that's a unique way too. I know there's if you really want to get into it, there's programs on that shit by RSD. You got Luke and Michael Sartain and those guys. They build they just Instagram stalk until they find what they need, and then just have a system in place where they could DM and find friends. You can find anybody. The internet is amazing. I found Zeke through the internet, and Zeke introduced me to Miguel. So if you really want to dig into it, you can find shit. As long as you're a high value guy, just get your values in place first, and then people will be attracted to you once you get your values in place.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy how you're just here because we DM'd each other on Instagram.
I told you, my copy on Instagram was Miguel could take notes on my copy, bro.
And you know what's crazy, Troy? What's crazy is that I originally wasn't gonna respond, bro. I was like, oh, it's just any other dude. But then the dude next to me was like, nah, this one, he seems something different about him. I guess the copy clicked, and
yes, bro.
And then
I typed in what did I say? I said something in the message that way. I was like, man, that's ballsy.
Wow.
Oh no! Something read me or some shit.
Keep talking, guys. I'm gonna get the copy. Keep talking.
You're gonna find it.
There's okay. How would you suggest going about finding people to hang out with? Because I know the way Luke describes it, is like he describes it specifically for building a social circle when it comes to like
Game.
night,
Yeah.
game and nightlife.
Mhm.
How would you do it for just like the more regular stuff, like whether it be business,
Yeah.
or just runs into the same shit you're into?
To me, that's the duality of game. Like, right, you know, anything in game you can apply to real life. So, like, I feel like it's kind of the same. If you're, it's just honing on what you're looking for, right? He does it specific to nightlife and club environments. All you got to do is specific to people you want to be around. For example, you can go through your city, find people that are entrepreneurs in your city, posting with the hashtag entrepreneur in Houston, Texas, or whatever. And you go through a bunch of them and you do the same shit that he talks about when it talks about nightlife, club life, or partying or some shit, whatever he does, and just apply it to real life. And that's the parallel of the game too, with when it comes to nightlife too. If you're cold approaching, you get good at that. You're good at cold approaching people in public. It's harder to find successful people in public, but it really isn't. You just put yourself in the environment where there's successful people. I mean, try to think of a fucking 10x rule convention or whatever you can find that's like an entrepreneur meetup where entrepreneurs will meet up. Not like fake entrepreneurs, but like real entrepreneurs will meet up. And you just can apply the same approaching style that you would in nightlife. Just like if you want to do the social circle, you apply the same shit you would in nightlife social circle as you would in day life. Like you just interchange it. Instead of finding the hot girls, you find the successful businessman.
Yep. And just invest some money, man. Go to like a conference that costs like at least like $250, and chances are like a good amount of those people would be. At least you'll have the same. They'll have the same mindset. They'll be on the
That's
same.
a good point too. Stay away from those free conferences, bro. Like those free conferences have such a lower barrier of entry that there's so many real estate meetups. I've been to like 4 because the first 3 I went to when I was trying to get started, they all seemed like fucking chodes, bro. Like they were all just like not gonna ever do shit, and I could see that. And I went to one recently with my business partners, and it was the same shit. Like there might have been like 4 guys out of 250 that were actually doing shit because it's free to go. Anybody will go.
Yeah.
I think that they're doing shit by going. But if you went to one that, like Zeke said, where you have to pay $250 to get in, you're not going to find those people that aren't going to do shit because they're not going to be the ones spending money to talk to people.
Boom. You said it, Troy.
It immediately makes it more serious. They're like, you spending money to go to that? Nah, it's not even that serious, bro.
Yeah.
It's not serious. I ain't going to that. I'm going to this Xbox, though. This Xbox ain't
Yeah.
$200.
That's a really. I like that a lot. What you said, Zeke. I mean, spending money to go. If you want to be anywhere in life, you got to do things that the rich people are doing. They won't. I guarantee that rich people aren't going to care to drop $250. They would prefer that because it's going to filter out some fucking chodes. Like Derek had a little meetup in Houston. He talked about this, and he was kind of like, I charge $10, and you'd be surprised the amount of people it filters out. He charges $10 for a fucking free. It's still a free tour to me. What's $10? I get to go talk to people and hear his opinions.
Uh-huh.
It filters out like 50 to 75% of the people because they're like, I'm not spending $10 for something that's free. It's like that's exactly what I want. You know, I want to be the high quality people in there.
Yep, bro, that is so true. Because like, and I'm sure Zeke has seen this too as well because he runs the customer service for a couple of my clients. Like, so he's seeing the emails as well. You'd be surprised just how many people are like, bro, why isn't this free? Or can I have the program for free? Like,
nigga.
With the amount of content my clients create, the amount of free content they create teaching them stuff, bro, why does this program cost something? Like,
bro, just me, bro. Bro, trust me, bro. I'm gonna do it, bro. I got the discipline. Could you just give me that link, bro? Give me that link to access, and I'm just like, nigga.
And I contemplated it when Zeke was talking about because I hate charging for value, and information, but then it clicked with me too. Is like if I don't charge for information, I'm gonna be dealing with a bunch of bullshit. Like if I have information that I want to release, I have to charge for it just so that I get people that are serious involved, rather than like giving it for free. Then you get a bunch of boners that aren't going to take action because they're not willing to even pay for the fucking program.
Bro, my program, Sales Funnel Commando, when I first made it because I wanted to give it away for free. Like that's literally why I made it. I was like, oh, that'd be so cool if I like helped a bunch of people make money, and that'd be great. Like that sounded amazing to me. And every single person who got the program would hit me up later and be like, bro, so like, what do I do? I was like, wait, I gave you the program a few weeks ago. You literally have everything. And they're like, but like, I don't know what to do. I'm like, oh, you guys don't think it's valuable because I gave it to you for free. So you guys are just a bunch of fuckers. Oh, so I literally had to close it down and take everyone's access away.
And how much are you charging it for, Miguel? Big bands. Tell them the price.
It's $2,000 now.
And then anybody that buys that, you don't even care if people buy it, but now it filters out. Anybody that buys that is someone that's going to be a good mentee.
Exactly. And they're actually going to like use it and like take action with it.
Yeah, my cost of entry for like mentorship or like people that need my time when it comes to business. When it comes to friends, I'll give anybody my time. Just if they just hit me up and want to meet up, I'll give anybody my time. But when it comes to like business, my barrier for entry is like I will ignore them probably 5 or 6 times. If they want my help and they don't have much value to provide me, I'm gonna ignore them at least 5 or 6 times, probably more than that. Like my good friend Felix, I use his Google for whatever reason, it's like logged in. I'm really good friends with him now. He hit me up. I met him at a nightclub venue, and he just overheard me talking about wholesaling, and he was like, "Dude, you really do that or whatever?" He helped me talk to these girls or whatever, and he had decent social skills. So I was like, "Yeah, man, here's my number. If you ever want to like hit me up." He hit me up like 15 times. I ignored the fuck out of him. He kept calling me because he's a young dude. He's like 18 or 19. Mm-hmm. And then he, instead of just calling me, he like ran into me in public on purpose a number of times before I was like, dude, I got to give this guy a shot. Like he's pursuing me like no one else would. And then the dude killed it, man. Like he's killing. He's doing Airbnb now. He's killing it because that's one guy that's going to kill it. You know, my filter was so good that I knew that guy was going to kill it.
Shout out to Felix, man.
Shout out to Felix.
Sounds like
nice little shout out. That's awesome, bro.
Yeah, he's a nice kid.
How old is he? 19?
He's 19 now, man. But he kills it more than 25-year-olds, man. He's like 25-year-olds that are killing it. He kills it more than those guys. He's a killer.
Whoa.
All right, guys. Been on here for a minute. This is a nice podcast.
It was.
I really like this one. I feel like this one, like, just like if people knew nothing else, like if they were depressed but they were running around fucking taking like action every single day, like I feel like their life would turn out amazing in the end.
These podcasts are gold, man. They're gold.
Real quick, JDM, yes, there's a podcast on meeting people. Just look through my YouTube or on iTunes. So, yeah, podcast is officially over. Taking perfect action at all times, and you will see your life progress naturally. Thank you for watching. Leave a review and all that stuff. And come back next week. Every single Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Is when we are on here. And next week, I'm going to actually have a nice little setup. Oh, I can't wait. Okay, I can't wait for you guys to see and hear the difference. So, yeah. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace out.
Love and light.
Yeah.